and welcome to the Corporate Escapists TV show and podcast. I am your host, Christine Innes, and we're doing something a little bit different today. I am here by myself because I wanted to come on and talk about a few different things that seem to be coming up for 2021, and especially for people who are wanting to start a business. And one of the things, I guess the most asked question I get is, when is the best time to start a business? Well, I'm going to break it to you. There is never a good time, because the more planning that you do in a business, well, for me, it seems the more I procrastinate the things I want everything to be absolutely perfect. So, we're going to dive deep in this episode and talk all about those little things that come up and what are some of the key things, as to maybe give you a little bit of a hint or a sign as to when you actually think that you are ready to start your own business. So, sit back, relax, make sure you grab a cup of tea, grab a coffee, drink of water, pen and paper, because this episode is going to be absolutely key for you who are wanting to start a business. Now, if you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and you hit like, you hit subscribe to our channel, because you will get first access to all of our upcoming episodes and you don't want to miss the ones that are coming up. So, as I said before, that we're going to be talking about when is going to be the best time to start a business. Now, honestly, for me, I don't believe that there was ever going to be a right time. But here are a few little things, a few signs to actually give you the little hint, that you inkling, or maybe a little push that you need, that you are ready to start a business. So, first of all, number one is that you may have a side hustle. So if you have something that you're doing on the side that is actually generating some income, that you are either breaking even or you are generating income and people are talking about it, that is your sign. If you absolutely love what you're doing, I'm all about following your passion, because when you follow your passion, you never feel like you are working a day in your life. Now, I want to also just break down one myth, because a lot of people think that when you work for yourself is that you're never going to work long hours. And I am just going to call complete BS on that, because it is simply not true. Because start up a business is hard work, because when you have worked in corporate and you've had teams all around you, when you come to work for yourself, you are it. So if you are still prepared to put in the long hours for the first 1 to 2 years, then that is the next sign that you are ready to start your own business. Now, the third thing, which really took me a long time to really recognize that, it really was something that really gave me the confidence to start my business, is the fact that I was prepared to not listen to other people. Now, if you've ever been to an event and you start talking about something and everybody's got opinion on every single subject. So if you're prepared to have people tell you what to do for your business, but not potentially take it all on board, then you're ready. So I want to give you a couple of examples for sort of those three things that I've talked about so far. So again, if you're working full time, you could be in a mum at home, and you've got this side hustle happening and it's bubbling along and you're getting some traction, you're getting people talking about it, you're actually generating some income. That is your next step to say that you are ready to take it on. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean, again, that you're going to have to jump full bull in and go full steam ahead, but actually launch it as a business and consider it as no longer a hobby, but it is actually a business. Okay, so there's two really key things there, because we can have a side hustle, we can have a hobby that we have, but when we actually step into it to actually consider it to be a business, one of our key goals is to actually start making money. So it is no longer giving our stuff away for free, regardless whether or not they're friends or family, is we have to value what we have. Okay, so if you got your side hustle, it's making a bit of money and you're prepared to now continually charge people for it, or you're doing something as a hobby that you absolutely love and now you're prepared to charge people for it, that's your sign. Okay, if you're prepared to put in the hours, that's your other sign. Okay, and if you really love what you're doing, that's another sign. Okay, so those three things are probably my key things to actually realize that you're ready to take that first step. Now, as I said, that, when you are starting a business, and I want to be really honest with you, is that starting a business is hard work. There is so many different roles that you need to play yourself. You need to become the accountant. You need to become the marketer. You also need to understand social media. You also need to understand your clients. And it's really, really hard because you love your product so much. But I want you to think about loving your clients even more. That's right. Who is your ideal client? So, if you've been able to clearly identify who your ideal client is, so what is the pain point that you're touching on, then the problem that you're solving with your business? If you've been able to really clearly identify that, then you're definitely on your way. Now, if you haven't been able to identify who your key client is, jump over to the Corporate Escapists website, head over to our freebie section, because we actually have a great download for you that you'll be able to go in and grab, and it actually helps you to create your ideal client, so your client avatar. Now, I want to talk a little bit about that because it was something that I sort of pushed away for quite a long time, because I thought, you know what? I just want to help people. I want to talk about leaving corporate. I want to talk about following your passion. But in my mind, I knew who I was talking to. I was talking to my old self. I was talking about the Christine that was working in the corporate world, who was so unhappy, who was hiding behind her life, trying to make sure that everything looked perfect on the outside, but literally on the inside, I was dying. That's right. I had a not so gracious exit from the corporate world. So if you haven't heard my personal story, it in the very short version of it is I worked in corporate for over 20 plus years. And I really did love what I was doing, but it wasn't something that lit me up. And 6 years ago, I got diagnosed with two life-changing illnesses. I was in a very toxic, unfixable marriage. And I also had to file for bankruptcy. And I was now sleeping on my parents' couch. Now, there was a couple of different things that happened to be able to change my life to get me to where I am right now. And a lot of it had to come down to asking myself the questions of, what do I want? What do I want from my life? What does my ideal day absolutely look like? A day that I would be so excited to get up and live on repeat every single day. That was how I was able to start looking at, what I wanted for my life, where I see it going, what I thought, I could start to actually dream again. But again, it was asking myself the question of what I wanted. Because a lot of the times when we go into business, society sort of thinks that, you should be going to work, you should be working, and you work for somebody else. You go in and you pay your bills, you have a family, you have a mortgage, you go on holidays. But not a lot of people talk about starting your own business. So when I decided that I didn't want to go back to corporate, I actually wanted to go down the pathway of inspiring other people. It was so left field. And I had to be prepared to not allow the judgment and all of those negative thoughts from other people coming in and deterring me. Because a lot of the times is that what we want to do is going to feel very uncomfortable to so many different people. But we have to be happy with that. We have to be our own cheerleaders sometimes to actually know that, you know what, this is a pathway. This is what I know I can do and how I can help so many people as well. So if you're prepared to stand out alone, to be vulnerable, to allow people to have all of the comments, and you still know that you can follow your pathway, you are so on your way. And this is also one of the reasons why I also created the Corporate Escapists, because I know how hard it is to start a business by yourself. But I also know how hard it is to let go of sort of the corporate mentality, sort of the corporate mindset that we have within ourselves. Now, what I'm talking a lot about is that you're sitting there and you're working for somebody else right now. Do you know what your corporate company's mission statement and values are? You pretty much do, because you're going to live them day in, day out. But when you go and start your own business, you have to have your own. You need to have one for yourself and one for your business as well. So it's really important to really understand that you will have a corporate identity, but then you have your own identity. And when you're in business, being authentic, being yourself, allowing yourself to shine so that you can tell the story of why you started your business, so you can share your business authentically. That is going to be able to set you up for success. So I know that there's been so much that I've talked about today, and it's a really, really quick, juicy episode that I wanted to record for you. But if any of this intrigues you more, if any of this sits there and goes, you know what? Everything that you're saying, Christine, I can resonate so much with you, then you need to keep listening to the Corporate Escapists TV show and podcast, because I am going to be recording a number of different episodes, and I'll be dropping them each month so that I'll be able to help you start your own business. So you'll be able to learn from myself. You'll also learn from a whole heap of different experts that I bring on every single week, be able to help you grow your business as well. And I'm going to announce right here now something very exciting is I'm actually going to be running some courses and showing you how you can create your own TV show and how you can create your own podcast. Sounds exciting? Drop a comment below if you're excited, if this is something that you want to do. So, if you have been thinking that you want to start your own business, you may have all had a side hustle, but, you're just not sure where to go, make sure you come and follow us here at the Corporate Escapists, because we're going to give you all of the insights of how you can actually find what you want to do, and also how that you can start a business and actually have a successful business as well. So I hope that this has inspired you. I hope this has given you the little firecracker sometimes that we absolutely need to be able to get our starters on our journey, so that we can live life to our absolute fullest every single day. So if this has inspired you, drop us a comment below. Let us know what business you're wanting to grow, what business you're wanting to start, or what side hustle you currently have, and we'd love to help you out. If you want access to any of those freebies that I've mentioned, we're going to drop all of that in the comments below. But just remember, all right, that this is your life and you have absolute control. You're in the driver's seat, so you can actually choose any destination that you want, and you can make the life of your absolute dreams. So love and light to you all, and I can't wait to share more with you in the next episode of the Corporate Escapists TV show and podcast. Love and light.